Good evening, everyone at home. It's Monday night, so that must mean it's Monday Night Skippys here on RaceSpotTV. Rachel and Connery, as always, bringing you everything from the action tonight. Hugo on the cameras, doing his amazing work as always. And, well, we're here for round number 8. It's Zandvoort, and we are in for a great race today. We, of course, have 14 laps. This 13-lap race course, 4.25 kilometers in length. First race here, 2010. So this race is going to be a fantastic one. Weather looking good, actually. Wind, though, pretty high, 18 kilometers an hour. 45% humidity, 18 degrees Celsius. So unusual conditions, Connery. But we are looking for a fantastic run here, of course. Let's not forget, in terms of points, Bill Fraser leading the way. 208 points over Mark Mercer, second on 189. Adcock in third on 157. There's Cowan, Cox, Maltby. Ward is in 7th place. This is a massive shake-up for the Bucks.
Yeah, it is a huge shake-up. Well, just a couple of horrible rounds of Tom Ward has put him so down on the point standings. And we've been hearing him on the front say that he might not even be challenging for the championship at the end of the season. So we're likely to see a new championship winner for this season, the first season here in 2018 for the Monday Night Skippys. But the thing is, there's another old name back at the top of the timing stands right now, at least in qualifying. That's for him, I
He said he is, of course, and you say he doesn't think he's challenging for the championship. I don't think that's too far wrong. He's about 80 points back with 4 to go, so unless nobody else finishes and he wins every round, I think he's in for real trouble, Connery. But we're going to go through your qualifying order now as the flag is out on the session. And it is, in fact, for Human Tonight, is 151.892 for the pole position today. 152.097 for Ben Daniels in second. So that's quite a bit of a jump there by 2 whole tenths for Fahima for the pole position today. Mark Mercer, Tom Ward and Chris Malcolm in the 5th place. Bill Fraser, the championship leader in 6th place. Peter Cowan, Paul Grillo. Oh my God, the Grillo is back. Kane Halliburton. We've got Clark Williams in 10th place, Dave Kirkman, Matt Cox, Gordon Ramsay, Paul Thurston in 14th, Jonathan Sheen in 15th place, Nick Sigley, Adrian Bidwell, Robert Plumley, Anthony Catt, and Ewan Patterson. I'm sorry, I'm still getting over the fact that Paul Grillo is back, Connery.
Grillo is back, and Grillo inside of that top 10 as well. So what kind of shenanigans can he get up inside of that top 10? We will just have to wait and see as the rest of the field will cycle themselves by. You've got the likes of down the fields, Jeff Killock, James McRitchie, game P number 24 as well. You've got Kip Stevens and a couple of others back there as well. You've got Tony Stack, P number 36 as well. So a couple of names to keep an eye on down the field, but I can't wait until we get started.
Me neither. I mean, this is old school Skippys territory right now because we have Paul Grillo and Mark Mercer in this race. These are names I watched when I first started commentating on this series, what must be 4 years ago now? Maybe longer. I don't know. It's been a long time. But Paul Grillo and Mark Mercer were 2 of the legends of this series back in the day. And seeing them both back on track, still in the top 10 in terms of lap times or qualifying, competing to win races. I'm looking forward to seeing this. Paul Grillo's been away for such a long time. I'm super excited to see him back on the track and doing this one. Well, we'll find out exactly how he does in tonight's race in just a few moments' time because we're about to go over to our grid. But honestly, that has been a phenomenal qualifying session. We look at our time split for 1 second as always, Connery. So we're looking for 52.8 and shows how hard the track is when we're kind of looking for about 12th, 13th place. So yeah, 12th place is our second bracket. That is not a lot of cars.
Yeah, not a lot of cars at all. 42 cars have set themselves qualifying time. David Hardwick is going to be car right on the back of the grid as the session does start to switch itself over. So not too long until we get this event started. But this should be a very interesting one. Coming down in towards turn number 1, of course, it's a little bit on camber here at Zandvoort, so you can make some hopeful moves down the inside there to try and gain an advantage over your competitors. But the thing is, you can hold that line on the outside with the help of the banking as well. And then it comes in towards this sort of twisty turn 2, turn 3, turn 4 section later on, which could catch a couple of people out. So it's good for side-by-side racing. Not much of a draft effect here. They're going to have to wait for the positions.
Certainly are, of course, and we're going to be on the grid now for the start in tonight's race, and the lights will count down now very, very shortly for 14 laps of racing here at Zandvoort. This track, it's not the easiest, and as Connery says, it's a cambered first corner. We've seen passes around the outside in turn 1 at Zandvoort, but surviving the first sequence of corners here, a little tougher, especially with 43 cars on our grid for today. So we're going to look forward to seeing what we get from this one, and look at that long line of cars stacked all the way back up to the final corner. In fact, just into that final corner. You can see them disappearing off into the distance there behind the camera, but a phenomenal grid for tonight's race. So we're looking forward to this one kicking off in just a second's time. Only mere seconds remaining here as those engines still quiet for the time being. The calm before the buzzing lawnmower storm. Certainly will be an interesting first couple of corners as the final cars head to the grid. Antonides, well, better late than never for him as he finally pulls his car onto the grid. The engines will start to rev up now as we get ready to go racing here at Zandvoort. And it's going to be a very long start here, more than normal perhaps, as we tick over our normal 2 minutes of grid time. And here we go, engines rev. Green flag waves, racing at Zandvoort. It's a good start up front as, look at that, just a surge of cars flying forwards here, up towards the first corner. And will it be a good clean run? Tom Ward looking to the inside, Mercer on the outside there of Ben Daniels. Mercer struggles a little bit, but is too wide through most of the corner there as everyone cycles through. 3 wide back in the pack there, actually, as you see them come charging through. Just a busy knot of cars here through this first switch sequence tight. Walls very close to you and you're racing here. Cars all having to give and take a little bit on this racetrack at the start as we start to single file out now and run towards the sweeping curves towards the end of the lap here, Connery. Towards the midpoint, I should say. We're not at the end yet. On board there with Ben Daniels. As... oh, it's getting a little... yeah, Ward coming to make a move there on Mercer. Mercer holds the outside line. Just about. Oh, Tom Ward getting very spicy already. Working on Bill Fraser there. Or Bill Fraser working on him. I'm not sure which way round that is. Because Bill Fraser, the boy from Orkney, is hungry as he holds Tom Ward again. Nearly a moment there. It's only lap 1, guys. Give it a break as here they come. Oh, these guys are not holding back yet. They want every bit of action here. Grillo's moving forwards as well. I think he made a move there up to about 7th place. Ward and Fraser. Is Fraser the antidote to Tom Ward, or is Tom Ward the antidote to Bill Fraser? I'm not entirely sure, but those two seem related to one another.
Yeah, you also got to consider that Bill Fraser, he's now racing for a championship. Tom Ward not so much, but so does Tom Ward make this easy for Bill Fraser, or is he just going to stay and be the metaphorical brick wall in front of him as we finally head our way through the final couple of corners now, out of the final corner, in fact, onto this very long pit straight, which is the only place where you can abuse the draft here. And look at that, Figure tonight is almost already broken away at the front. The early defensive inside line, though, for Ben Daniels on the run down towards turn number 1 into this cambered corner. You can expect Mercer on that outside line to be able to hold it, but the thing is he fails at it, and Tom Ward behind still waiting to pounce as he clips the gravel as well.
Yeah, certainly is. He's doing his best just to keep it as cautious as possible for now and hold on to this one, but oh my gosh, this is definitely getting a little busier up at the front as still Antonides at the sharp end of the track, and well, they're just about getting it right for now as the cars try and sneak through the lap here. Lap number 2 at the moment. Tom Ward looking at Mark Mercer there. Look at this one. This is for the 4th and 3rd places. Oh, he gets a bit sideways. Ooh. Tom Ward makes a mistake. Off onto the grass he goes. And this is the second time we've seen a forced error. Peter Cowan will have a piece of this as well, as will Chris Malcolm. Looking to the inside, but Ward comes back and rallies 4th. Although he'll be attacked now by, I think that's Kane Halliburton from behind. Tom Ward making a rare mistake. Replay for you there of that one as Tom Ward gets a wobble on Connery and just nearly loops it into the barrier.
Yep, that's how we look at it through the replay. Coming down the hill, he just, the back end just breaks out away from him coming down the hill there. Maybe a little bit of the elevation change had something to do with it as coming back towards live here. He's still trying to fight with Peter Cowan coming through the tight and twisty middle sector. He's going to end up losing another position as a result, or at least come under the threat of losing another position, as Kane Halbin will actually drop back off of that particular challenge, coming through the final 2 corners now, and Tom Ward in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Tom Ward definitely in trouble. He's back in the pack here behind Peter Cowan as this shakes up his antics. Although, look at this, Bill Fraser looking towards Mark Mercer. The gap with Mercer and Daniels is wide enough here that Bill Fraser could make a move, and he does just that to the inside for turn 1. Can Mercer hold the outside? It's possible in 1. In fact, he does, but he runs wide and he drifts through the corner. This is not Japan, Mark Mercer. You're not meant to be travelling sideways to the corners. But he gives up the spot there to Bill Fraser, who makes it through into 3rd place. Antonides still holding on here to 1st. Ben Daniels up in 2nd place, doing his best, but Ben Daniels is closing in. Number 16 lost his engine. That's Jonathan Sheen. Unfortunately, the Sheen has worn off that motor, and it's now given up the ghost in turn 1.
Yeah, we actually saw that live.
No, it's contact.
We will get a replay. Coming down to turn number 1, 3-wide moment. There's a car looking towards the inside there, and yes, a little bit of contact, but I think that car would have been okay if he didn't hit the tyre barrier afterwards.
Well, I guess unlike another Sheen, he's not winning right now. So that'll take that meme from 2010 away, and we'll go back to the racing. We've got a big knot of cars here behind where Tom Ward is running. In fact, this is the pack with Paul Grillo in it. In fact, Mr. Grillo, you'll see there, is the 27 machine, the red and yellow-nosed car. Big pack of cars racing around them, including the likes of Kirkman, Cox, Malcolm, Williams, Halliburton and Ward, who is just at the front of this group, as he is not doing as well as he'd like to. He's trying to close the gap up towards the guys at the front. He hasn't got any damage on the car, but lost a huge amount of time. And Paul Grillo still just about hanging on here. He's dropped a spot over where he qualified, but working on Peter Cowan this time by. This should see him up, I think, 1 spot, but I'm not going to count my chickens too early. Cowan has definitely slipped back as Fraser now ahead of Mercer. Will we see Mercer leapfrog him to go towards the front and close the time up? Mark Mercer does just that. Could be a nice clean pass before the corner at this rate. He has the overspeed, which Bill Fraser didn't have. He clears in before the corner and Fraser drops back in line. That'll help those guys catch up some time here, Connery. They're going to get a little bit closer to Daniels and Antonides, but Antonides slightly stretching that gap. It's 6/10 now between himself and Ben Daniels, so he's brought that one up a little bit. It's a bit of a comfort room, but it's still within attack range.
Yeah, fantastic view from the T-cam of that tartan-inspired paint job of that Skip Barber Formula Racing 2000 car, which is Bill Fraser's machine. But battling, potentially going to be on behind this one. Halliburton and Ward following very closely, coming through the SS section in the middle of the lap. Halliburton looking for turn number 6. Nope, he's just going to fall in line. Turn number 7 potentially is back to... Ooh, I was going to say back to Fraser, but no, they are not battling just yet.
Oh, car off.
Through number 10.
We just had the 42 car taking a bit of an excursion back there. It's Gordon Ramsay who decided to... Oh, I was thinking of a food pun, but I can't really think of one. He ran wide there, wobbled, ran off into the gravel trap, and I guess that's, well, it's one way to take a corner.
Yeah, definitely is one way to do it, but the thing is he's going to lose a couple of positions as a result. Replay up on screen as he does take a very high speed. This high-speed excursion onto the gravel is... I was going to make a salt pun, but it's sand. It's like, oh, no.
Well, I was going to say tossing a salad, but no, it doesn't really work that way, so we'll just move on. I mean, we have to bring out our food puns, of course, for Mr. Ramsey, but we'll step aside from that and look back at Tom Ward, who's just made it past Halliburton here, the 09 up into the 5th spot. Mark Mercer ahead of him with Bill Fraser. Fraser got back past that lap, so Mark's going to have to do it over and over again into turn 1. Should manage to make it nice and steadily. The gap between Daniels and Antonides has opened up again. 2/10 more is... Oh... Mercer ran a little bit wide, slowed down. Fraser got some run on him, Connery, but well, Mercer kind of closed the door, so there's nowhere for him to go. The gap between them and the leaders, about 7 seconds at the moment. Tom Ward is slowly gaining there with Halliburton and Malcolm. Grillo has made it past Cowan on the last run down the start-finish straight here on lap number 5, and that moves him up into the 8th spot.
Exactly, and just saw from the rear view of Mark Mercer's car there that a little bit of damage to the front wing of Bill Fraser's machine, but shouldn't be affecting him too much. Not much in terms of the aerodynamics on these cars anyway. So that's potentially something he has to deal with, but it's not going to affect it too much in terms of lap times. But one thing I did go ooh about, though, was through the first sector, Bill Fraser was just deathly slow compared to Mark Mercer, and he's not made much of the time back over these next couple of corners either. So this could be the opportunity for Mark Mercer to get himself away. Later apex coming through turn number 9 for Mercer, gives him the momentum off the corner, and heading down towards turn number 10, turn 11. It's going to be the Audi section here. This is the first right-hander here. That's actually called Audi corner, and then into the long left-hander as Fraser. Again, he tries to close out the gap, but the thing is he does it this time, and now he puts him in a good position to get the run out of the final 2 corners and down the pit straight.
He does indeed, and wow. Lap number 5 will be coming to an end in just a few seconds now as they come up towards the line. Antonides stretching that gap again. Well, not really. That time by the line, it was actually a slight gain for Daniels. Mercer there and Fraser. Fraser got past just at the end, but Mark Mercer hot on his heels here. Tom Ward's gap is widened to 2 seconds now, so that race is not going as well as he wanted it to. Let's have a look for our man with the plan, Paul Thurston, P13 right now for El Capitan of the UK club. Bit of front wing damage, but it seems like everybody has some. The curbs here at Zandvoort not really helping Connery, but 13th place, qualified 14th there. That is Matt Cox up ahead of him, Dave Kirkman, Clark Williams in that group. They're trailing right behind the group with Cohen and Grillo, but they are maintaining speed. The lap time's looking comparable.
Yeah, looking very comparable indeed as they head their way through turn number 6. That's the downhill long right-hander. And we're looking from the rear view of David Newman here, just a little bit further back. Dave Kirkman, sorry, further back through the field. This is number 7 car. Looking at Matt Cox and Paul Thurston, Nick Sigley, Robert Plumley. That is the train of cars currently behind. 16 car. Jonathan Sheen just had an incident on track with, I believe, one of the bananas. That was the 39 car, Barry West, who we'll probably get a chance to chat to later. Just a couple of moments ago up on the back end of the track, and Sheen lost the car. He was sideways. West had nowhere to go, and a bit of a tap sends him backwards and round into the gravel trap and damaged the rear wing. It's not looking like Sheen's night, is it? Yeah, it was a little bit of a slow and lazy instant for Sheen. Just got the back end out on entry, just carried the slide all the way through the middle of the corner, and then Barry just got collected by it. And yeah, it's a shame for both these drivers, but the thing is they're running quite far down the field regardless. So those guys, it was a really great day for them anyway. So things just go from bad to worse. As Jonathan Sheen is still out there on circuit, in fact, trying to limp his way around. I think he'd be best advised to bring that car down for a tow.
Certainly would be. And speaking of tows, Ben Daniels using the tow here to regain time on Fahim Antonides. Brought the gap down to about 0.4 of a second at the moment, and he's running right behind your leader. Can Antonides go flag to flag on this one, Connery? That would be absolute change of form for him. He'd be really due a race win, and this would be a dominating fashion.
Yeah, it'll be a true return to form for Fahim Antonides. Of course, he does have a couple of championships under his belt. No competition for the championship this time around. But the thing is, whenever he has come back after winning those championships, the races have actually been quite lackluster for him in recent times. So this would be a fantastic result to get himself back up there. But Ben Daniels also very impressive this race. Not used to seeing him running outside this top 3, but he's absolutely proving what he is made of right now, keeping with Fahim Antonides and keeping that gap to the second pack up to around 3.3 seconds as well. So he's going to try and secure this as a 2-course race at the front.
Certainly is, of course, and Mark Mercer and Bill Fraser, the battle for third and fourth still going on here. Who will be a podium finisher out of these two? Well, Tom Ward's gap is creeping down a little bit, but not enough lap car between them, which actually might provide a draft assistance there, which could really help Ward, Connery, as Bill Fraser, points leader, really making a show of this thing. He's not leading this week, but he's holding off the likes of Mark Mercer, which is high caliber talent, and it's an impressive season for the young Scotsman.
Impressive season indeed, and will Mark Mercer make the pass coming down towards turn number 1, down towards the inside. He'll go a little bit tentative on the brakes, just draws the car the wrong side. That's all he needs to do. Try and complete the pass on the exit here, but he's not quite going to get it. So side by side they'll head up towards turn number 3, and he will in fact back out the move. But this is exactly what Bill Fraser needs to do at this moment in time. He's ahead of Mark Mercer at points. He doesn't really need to be leading this event right now, because it would be nice because it gives him a little bit bonus points in this battle between himself and Mark Mercer. But just finishing ahead of Mark Mercer is a very good result indeed.
Certainly would be a very good finish for him, as Paul Thurston still back in 13th place, although he's fighting now pretty hard there with the 147 car. That is Robert Plumley. This is one we're keeping an eye on, as Plumley looking for an opening there on Thurston. Can't find anything yet. Just up ahead of them, that's the number 7 machine there of Kirkman, trying to make a move on Matt Cox as well. There's 2 battles for the price of 1 here in about the, well, just outside your top 10. Plumley looking for opportunities, runs a little wider now, trying to get a line, a bit of more speed through the corner. We've seen some good runs from Thurston so far, Connery. He's obviously sitting just inside the top 10 in points for the season, which is exactly where he wants to be. He's got a race in hand though, so that's going to be some surprise points for him. He knows he has the advantage of a dropped week, so it'll benefit his end of season points if he can stay inside the top 10 with races counted. He's doing well.
Yeah, doing very well this season indeed. And they head their way through turn number 11, and Matt Cox risking being slow off the corner there. I think that was Kirkman just trying to sense an opportunity coming down to the bottom of the corner, as that's a very late apex, very scruffy corner there from Matt Cox. May put him under threat coming through the final corner now from the train of cars behind. Kirkman is in a very good position to get this pass done. He's going to have to move towards driver's right hand side coming down the pit straight there, and there you see that British Union Jack adorned car make his way by down in towards turn number 1. He has to complete it on the brakes though, and Matt Cox is going to defend on that outside, gets the back end out slightly first and looking for the opportunity on the inside as well, but still side by side they'll go in towards turn number 3. If Kirkman can hold it here, he gets the inside for 4, but he'll lose it for 5, and Kirkman has to back out of it as Thurston's going to go around behind.
He does indeed, and I was about to say a cheeky move from Thurston who wants to try and take advantage of Cox running wide, but looks like he just had to check a little bit when it looked like Kirkman made a wobble. And Plumley didn't get the message, because Plumley went right up the gearbox of Thurston and dumps him into the tyre barriers. That will be Paul Thurston's race probably done. I'm not sure what damage he has, but he's lost his front wing and the tip of his nose cone, so he can't be in particularly good shape. Oh gosh, replay there for that one for you, as that was quite the unpleasant moment there for Paul Thurston. He was trying to do the safe thing and just ease off the gas, but cars behind in a tight pack just didn't have the warning.
Also, we got to slow it in super slow-mo vision to make Robert Plumley's agony just a little bit more. It's super slow. We're just going to go 16 times slow on this broadcast, and you can just see that nose is going to go into the back, and it's going to spin the driver around. So
you could say that Plumley nosed Paul into the wall.
Yes, I am saying exactly that. As he almost got ran into the back of himself as well by Gordon Ramsay, but looking back to live, Ramsay has actually made his way by.
He has, and we're looking back at the cars up here now, the 33 of Mercer and 13 of Fraser. And Fraser had a bit of a scruffy run through the final corners, got a bit of gravel, but not a huge amount, as he tried to defend knowing he was slow, and Mercer goes to the outside with momentum and speed. Can he carry it around the outside with the banking? He does put some good effort in to hold it. Will he get cleared? Stays just... Oh, he drops back in there for the next corner. He was going to see if he could hold the outside there, Connery, but I think he just chose the wiser option for now here. Lap 10 of 14. Time still to make the move as the gaps behind them just come down a little bit. They're fighting now, so it's brought the gap between Ward, Halliburton and Malcolm closer. But on that note, Tom Ward has been passed by Kane Halliburton.
Yep, he has. That's happened on the last lap. Ward's going to run his driver really close coming up in towards turn number 6. Not really a traditional overtaking spot at this track. You kind of have to file in single file here. But coming in towards turn number 7 now, looking for the inside, puts a half a car's width there just to make sure that Kane Halliburton is aware that Tom Ward is ready to pounce if he makes any mistake in these next couple of corners. Coming up in towards turn number 9 now. Wider line taken from Ward. Pushed apex for Kane Halliburton. They're not quite making it as he has to drift wide onto the dirt. And this is the opportunity for Tom Ward heading down in towards the Audi section. He'll actually get it done even before the braking zone for the right-hander. So a mistake capitalized on for Tom Ward.
Certainly could be. Tom Ward has to pedal pretty hard here. He's gotten himself back up a position, but still only 5th place here, Connor. And that's going to do his championship points no good whatsoever in his attempt to try and scrape his way back towards the front. I don't think this is going to be his season here, because he is 80 points back, and a 5th place will not cut it for him. Look at Ben Daniels, because he's been really close to Antonides this last time by. This time, not so much. Antonides just fits and starts. He pulls one lap and loses the next. But he's managing to hold on. He's not allowed Ben Daniels really into a position where he can attack yet, Connery. So there's some very mature driving here from Antonides. Racing to the car in 2nd, not just going flat out.
Yeah, it's just a classic case of just managing the gap, managing the track position. And you've got to ask yourself, what is Ben Daniels' game plan now? Since he hasn't really had an opportunity over the past couple of laps. He hasn't sensed where he can actually pass Fim Antonides on the final lap. So it'd be very interesting to see what he can do, if anything, coming into the final couple of laps here. So that'll be interesting to watch at the front. But meanwhile, Bill Fraser, Mark Mercer, that battle, basically a championship battle still going on right now, and Mark Mercer still close in towards turn number 7, clatters the curb, so much coming through there. But the thing is, he's still trying to sense it for turn number 8, as that was a huge hit to the curb there, Rachel.
Oh, massive. That little car bounced all over the place. Absolutely, they might not be fighting for the win, but they don't really need to focus on that right now, as Bill Fraser runs wide. Opportunity for Mark Mercer here, as he will have a good run, but will it be enough with a right-hand corner up ahead into the Audi S? Not going to be enough for him, but of course these two battling for position here, because for them, where each of them finishes on track matters a little bit more than who wins the race out of the pair of them, because being so close in terms of points, only about 20 points between them, every little helps here, and just a handful of points could sway this championship with 4 rounds to go, of course, after this, as this is a tight one. Can the young Scotsman upset Mark Mercer? Can Mark Mercer regain the Skippys crown for the veterans, or will this be the tale of the underdog? Well, the scruffy little Highland Terrier from Orkney, apparently, because I think Highland Terrier fits Bill Fraser's personality very, very well, Connery. He's a scrappy racer. He certainly makes a lot of noise, but he does normally, obviously, carry it through.
Yeah, he does really like to get into the thick of things. There's no notion of staying behind and just really seeing where you are at the end of the race. He wants to go and attack for every single position, but right now, all he has to do is defend from Mark Mercer. So it's a very interesting situation for him. Perhaps not a situation that he hasn't been in before, being at the head of this train, trying to hold position instead of actually going for the positions. But the pair behind is still fighting. They're not going to catch your P3, P4 pair by the end of the race, or at least I don't think, unless something miraculous happens there to P number 3, P number 4. But Warden, Halliburton, and Chris Malcolm still potentially a thing that starts to become a thing at the end of this race in terms of sorting out their positions. And Malcolm's just been very quiet so far. This race has actually got towards Mercer. They're going to go side by side through the middle sector here. Fraser's going to have the inside for turn number 5 for Vodafone, and he's going to hold position there. There was a bit of a wider line taken from Mercer, could have carried the momentum to the exit, but the thing is, Fraser basically plateaued it on the inside of the corner.
Yeah, he's playing the I'm going to sit on the apex game right now with Mark Mercer. Mark can't pass if, well, no matter how much speed he carries through the corner, if the apex is currently occupied by a tartan race car, so he's going to have to do the best he can to try and find an opportunity under draft, I think, because other than that, he's not going to have many opportunities, so good runs through the final corners will help him. When does Mark Mercer make a move? Does he try for something now, or does he wait until the final laps? If he can get past on lap 13, this lap we're going on to now, that could be the choice, but they're both going to play the defensive game. They borrow the draft from the guy who's weaving all over the racetrack option as Mercer goes high. Is he going to sling it round there? Don't get on the brakes too much. You use that banking to your advantage, Mark, as he holds side by side there with Fraser. And it's a curve to his advantage, but Fraser will have the inside here. Too wide still, and this will bring Tom Ward right up to this fight. Oh, he holds it all the way. Mercer holds the inside line. Gets it past. Not quite, though. Bill Fraser holds on the outside. It's nearly contact. Oh, there was contact. They're both off, or one of them was off, and here comes Ward to take advantage. You said they wouldn't catch up, Connery, but wow, Tom Ward takes advantage of the rubbing between Bill Fraser and Mark Mercer. Aggressive battling there between those two, side by side. As, yeah, you've just got a replay of that one, as they kind of mate cars for a moment and then pull apart, and both of them wobble, but they hold on, and Mercer's now, unfortunately, the loser of this because he's behind Tom Ward back in the 5th place here with Halliburton right on his gearbox. Bill Fraser, though, holds on to 3rd.
Yeah, that's a very close call thing there. I don't think there was much racing room there left for Bill Fraser, as we did see the replay up there on stream, but back to live pictures now. And as he said, Mercer has definitely lost out a lot in terms of that one. He's got Tom Ward in between him and Bill Fraser now, and he's got Kane Halliburton all over the back, with only coming up to 1.5 laps to go for these guys, but it's coming up to 1 lap to go for Fahim Antoniades and Ben Daniels. This one has been quiet. It's been dormant for the first 13 laps of this race, but can something happen for the race leads coming onto the final lap of the event? It's going to be white flag in the air, 1 lap to go here at Circuit Park Zandvoort. A early defensive inside line for Fahim Antoniades. Ben Daniels has to try around the outside here and try and hold things coming through the first sector, but no, he's just going to back out the move. Look for the undercut, look for the up and over, but the thing, up and under, sorry, the thing is, absolutely no opportunity.
No, not at all. And Mercer's lost more spots here. He's really falling back. Could be some damage from that contact because he's just lost spots to both Malcolm and Halliburton there, who got past. Tom Ward now hounding the back of Bill Fraser. Does Fraser risk losing points in the championship here by getting potentially wrecked or getting into a tussle? Or does he really let Ward go if he has a fight? He knows his big points advantage between him and Mercer. He has to know that already. Does he just drop a spot and say, well, it's a couple of points for the chance of certainly finishing? With Tom Ward at my gearbox doing this sort of thing, I'd be very uncertain as to whether I wanted just to let him go here, because Tom Ward was very close to hiking up the back of Bill Fraser's car right there with his nose cone, as they're going to come through now and in towards Vodafone in just a moment's time. But that was very, very close there between Ward and, of course, Fraser. Poor Mercer's well out of this one, but Antoniades holding that dignified distance now into the Audi S. A couple of corners left to go for Fahim, and this will be the final time through. He has run a masterful race here, maintaining his lead, racing off the nose cone of 2nd place. Bill Fraser holds on against Tom Ward through the Audi S's. Can Tom Ward snatch a podium at the last second? That'll be interesting to see the final corner and what they'll do. Speaking of which, through the final corner now, Ben Daniels for Fahim Antoniades. And it's going to be Antoniades with a commanding run here as they come up towards the line. It will be Fahim Antoniades taking the win here at Zandvoort. Ben Daniels in 2nd. A little closer for 3rd. Here comes Ward, going to try and make a pass. Will it be close enough? It won't be close enough at all. Bill Fraser maintains for 3rd place. Tom Ward in 4th. Ken Halliburton 5th place. Chris Malcolm 6th. And Mark Mercer ends up back in 7th.
Yeah, very close run things indeed, as the rest of your finishers start to head their way across the line, weaving down across the line. We're Adrian Badwell and Darrell Taylor there further down the field. But let's just have a quick little look about that maybe on Tim Adcock versus Andrew Bolton. Could be on for P number 27 as they head their way through the final corner, but I think Bolton's going to be a little bit too far back in this case, so Tim Adcock, I think, has this one for P number 27 as we have the rest of your runners come through now.
We certainly do, and wow, what a race we had tonight. A nice strategic run from Fahim Antoniades, and light moment drama with Mercer and Fraser. Ward nearly snatching a podium at the very last second after his issues this race. That was a fantastic run.
Yeah, that was an absolutely brilliant, basically recovery drive for Tom Ward, because he did drop back in the early stages, had also that qualifying to deal with as well, putting in P number 4, but he dragged himself back up towards P number 4, and well, that's basically what just the skills of a 5-time champion showing, even though he's likely not to get a 6th this season.
Certainly is, and without further ado, on to the results. Taking home the win today for Antonides with a cracking race there. Ben Daniels in second place with Bill Fraser in third. Tom Ward fourth place. Ken Halliburton in fifth. Behind them is Chris Malcolm, Mark Mercer, Paul Grillo, Clark Williams, Peter Cowan in 10th place with Matt Cox, Gordon Ramsay, Dave Kirkman, Robert Plumley, Nick Sigley in 15th with Adrian Bidewell, Darryl Taylor, Anthony Jones, Simon Maltby and James McRitchie. Rest of those results up on your screen. We're going to go for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after these messages with your post-race interviews. It's the Monday Night Skippys post-race show. It's probably more reason to turn in for this than the race. We'll catch you in a moment.
Like a movie, just like a storybook. We are the future, we're the ones they won't overlook. It's time to be the hero. Like you've never seen. Like you've never seen. Looking for a hero. Just like in a dream. Just like in a dream.
Welcome back to the Monday Night Skippy's post-race show here on RaceSpotTV. Rachel and Connery as always with you. And well, first up, we get a chance to chat to the man of the hour, or the man of the half hour in this case, Fahim Antonides. Flag to flag. And he's cleared off for a cup of tea. So, unfortunately, we haven't got Fahim Antonides here. He's here, he's back, he's got his tea. Fahim, flag to flag, what a race.
Yeah, I like it when things go to plan. I obviously managed to get pole with the help of Mark. Mark and I were helping each other during the open qualifying to get as far ahead as possible. And thankfully, I got pole. And then from then on, Ben managed to obviously get second. And it was very difficult to try and lose him in the draft. And it was a real cat and mouse game because he was gaining on me on the straights. But I was pulling away just about enough on the bendy bits to keep him far enough so that he wouldn't be able to attack during the straights.
Fahim.
What's that?
I think the bendy bits are called corners.
Can't hear you. What did you say?
I said I think the bendy bits are called corners.
Oh yeah, that's what they're called, bendy bits. Corners. Kept him at bay at the corners, and the whole race was just like that. It was cat and mouse, and it was quite hard work. He kept me honest. So, as he would say, spiffing good race, old bean.
Oh, there you go. Spiffing good race for you, Fahim. That was a fantastic run today, and thank you for joining us.
Cheers. Goodbye.
Well, next up, we have a chance to talk to 10th place finisher Peter Cowan from Club 100 Racing. Peter came home in 10th place after what was a very busy race for you.
Hi, yeah, it was. I'm quite disappointed, really. I was looking forward to a better race after qualifying so well, but I think it was about lap 3. I forgot how to drive, and I just went steadily backwards from there.
Unfortunately, but still, 10th place finish is great for points.
Yeah, I'm actually focusing on the championship a bit now. Seem to be well up there on overall scores. I don't know how that's going to pan out when the drop scores start coming in a couple of rounds, but yeah, hoping for a top 7.
Well, best of luck with that, Paul, and hopefully we'll see that for you.
Cheers.
Thanks for talking to us. Right, next up we have Matthew Forrest today. 23rd place today for Matthew. As Matthew, things were a bit hectic back in the pack today.
Yeah, it was great fun. So many different lines coming off the first corner, and then all the way through, really, as you come around to the some of the tight corners towards the end. It was great. Lots of cars spun out in front of me, but it was a great race, to be honest.
It certainly was, and of course you started 28th place, so a few spots gained today.
Yeah, makes a change this week.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming to chat to us, Matthew. Coming home today in 23rd place.
Thank you.
Well, last but not least in any regard, today we have a chance to talk to, once again, the man we'd always love to have a chat to, Paul Thurston. Unfortunately, qualified 14th, came home today in 34th. But, Paul, looks like you got some help.
There's a 4 at the end of both numbers. So I must have finished where I
There
started.
is,
Well,
but
logically.
not quite.
Yeah, it's yeah, as I've said before, feast or famine this season. So that was another nothing, which is a pity because I've got 3 zeros now. So that's done for me for probably a decent finish in the championship. But it's life. Rob basically rear-ended me coming into the hairpin. He's apologised. You know, I mean, it's Rob. He's not going to do that deliberately. Nick Sigley had done it to me earlier on as well, but not so badly. I managed to catch that one. It's too many of them and you can't really do a lot about it. Other than that, I was quite pleased. I mean, I've got a new brand spanking new motherboard, CPU and memory. I was quite pleased with that. I had to get that all built and ready for tonight. So I was hoping for something out of it, but that was stand me in good stead, I think, because the old one was getting very, very old. This one's a bit better. Other than that, it was a good race up to there.
Pit road with your brand new computer.
It means I get a lot more detail in the pit lane.
It does,
I can
exactly.
see. Yeah, you can see all of the like the dirt on the floor. I had plenty of time
Animations of
to.
your crew.
Well, yeah, all of him. Yeah. I'm bored with him actually. He's a bit dull.
Unfortunately, not your day today, Paul. But there's always the next race.
Yeah. Well, what is the next race? I suppose you don't know, do you? You never look.
No, I never look, but I tend to find out whilst I stall for time whilst talking to people. So that tends to be what happens as we casually just stall. Come on, Iris.
Laguna Seca.
Load. Laguna Seca, thank you for saving me from having to search through a site there whilst filling for time. Laguna Seca is a tricky track, but it tends to be a good one for you.
Strangely, it does. I tend to get good finishes there, even though it's like Zandvoort. It's when I don't enjoy driving much, but I do enjoy racing there because it's good fun. But it's wide, it's slippy. There's a number of different lines. They've got certainly Circuit of the Americas after that. But it's one of the shorter circuits, which might be interesting. The long one's rubbish in the skip. Phillip Island at the end, that's nice. Yeah, Laguna Seca. I'll practice. I'll give it a go. I'll finish optimising my PC and everything. It's a bit lashed together this time. And I will finish in the top 10 again, just for you.
Oh, well, thank you. Do that just for me. That would be great.
My pleasure, madam.
On that note, thank you for joining us, Paul. We're going to have a quick chat, Connery, about... Paul, are you still in session?
No.
Oh, right. Well, you could be an expert, should we say, character witness for this one. As Connery, take us through the moment of the race.
Well, the moment of the race, lap number 13, turn number 1, it has to be said, this incident between Mark Mercer and Bill Fraser, your 2 championship contenders. And looking on the screen right now, they're heading down in towards turn number 1. This is all fair fighting up until turn number 3. So turn number 1, Mark Mercer on the outside. This will become the outside line for turn number 2, inside line for turn number 3. As you see them come through there now. So now the corner rights will go to Mark Mercer on the inside at turn number 3 there. And they're so close to getting clear coming off the corner that you could argue that Mark Mercer might have been in front on the exit of the corner and could allow to get his car dragged towards that exit there. If you look at it from above, it looks like there's a front wing just alongside Mark Mercer's car for Bill Fraser on the outside. So Fraser does have kind of a right here to go for the outside coming on the exit of the corner. But the thing is, the natural racing line for Mark Mercer is always going to be to track exit there. So it's a really weird situation. I don't think either driver is to blame, but I think Fraser should have backed out as soon as he realized he was going to run over the curb.
Well, that's one way of putting it. and certainly an interesting one, and we'll leave that decision up to you, the viewers at home, and of course what I expect to be a 4-page discussion in the forum afterwards if the in-session chat is anything to go by.
Hey,
no, there won't
I'll
be.
post
It's
the
all
time.
just
reading this week.
I'll post a timestamp link to that
Excellent.
my point
Perfect.
there in the
That will
forum.
spice things up nicely. So on that point, we're going to wrap things up for tonight, folks. Join us, of course, same time next week. Laguna Seca, Monday Night Skippys. It's the highlight of your week. Admit it. Goodbye.